All right, let's dive right in. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're tackling a massive, universal tension that literally every single one of us feels on a daily basis. I mean, you've probably noticed it, right? That constant push and pull between simply trying to get by, paying the rent, eating enough, staying safe, and that deeper, kind of nagging desire to seek out a higher purpose. It's basically the ultimate struggle of the human condition. So today, we're unpacking a really fascinating text called The Ascent of Human Tendencies, which gives us this beautifully structured map of exactly how we grow, evolve, and ultimately flourish as human beings.
And that brings us right to the core philosophical question of this whole explainer. Are we just biological machines built to survive, or are we fundamentally wired for something much, much more? Well, as we dig into this source material, you'll see that these two ideas, they aren't actually at odds at all. In fact, our most ancient primal instincts connect directly and absolutely essentially to our highest, most transcendent spiritual pursuits. You literally can't have one without the other.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to quickly cover the human hierarchy, move into our biological foundations, explore the quest for understanding, the need for connection, the search for truth, and then wrap it all up with integrating the ascent. Starting with Part 1, the human hierarchy.
Okay, so the source text kicks things off by introducing this overarching framework, basically a complete map of human existence. The main argument here is that human life unfolds through multiple, interconnected levels of organization, and each of these levels is driven by a very specific primary tendency. Think about how this naturally progresses. We start with the body, where the main goal is simply to survive. Then we move to life, which is driven to reproduce. Above that is the mind, which desperately wants to know and understand. Then the heart, needing to love and connect. And finally, consciousness, which seeks to be aware and realize truth. The absolute key takeaway here is that you don't just pick one of these. They build right on top of each other, perfectly mirroring the increasing complexity of life itself.
Let's move to Part 2, our biological foundations.
Look, before we can sit around philosophizing, we actually have to exist, right? So the absolute ground floor of our hierarchy is the body, and it is 100% governed by the imperative to survive. When you feel hungry, thirsty, or scared, that's just your primal instinct for self-preservation kicking in to keep you going. Survival preserves the individual. It's the absolute bedrock for literally everything else we do. But the text quickly pivots to the next level up, which is life. Now, from an evolutionary standpoint, life's main gig is reproduction. Every living organism is playing a part in the continuity of life by passing on its genetic heritage. So while your body preserves you, reproduction preserves the species across generations. It's this massive biological drive that goes way beyond just you or me.
Which brings us to Part 3, the quest for understanding.
The mind seeks to know and understand. That is a simple sentence, but it packs a serious punch. Sitting right above our biological drives is the mind. The source material makes it super clear that everything we consider distinctly uniquely human, our curiosity, our imagination, scientific inquiry, all of it, stems from this one specific tendency. The human mind is just relentlessly building models of reality. It's always hunting for patterns in a chaotic world, always trying to expand what we know. Why? Because understanding is the cheat code for adaptation and innovation. Our mind's obsessive drive to figure things out is quite literally the engine that built human civilization and culture.
Next up, Part 4, the need for connection.
Now we're shifting gears a bit, moving away from the cold logic of the mind into something much warmer. The heart seeks love and connection, because let's face it, human beings are inherently, stubbornly social creatures. We aren't meant to be lone wolves. This level is built on friendship, family, compassion, empathy, and cooperation. The text emphasizes that belonging to a community enriches our lives in a way that just surviving simply cannot do. It's through our relationships that we actually find meaning, purpose, and emotional fulfillment. As the source beautifully phrases it, love is what transforms our existence from merely living into living together. It is the glue of the human experience.
Moving to the top of the ladder, Part 5, the search for truth. At its absolute deepest, most profound level, human existence taps into consciousness. Now, the text defines this very specifically. It says consciousness is the capacity to turn inward and become aware of awareness itself, with the ultimate goal of seeking reality. This is where deep contemplation and self-inquiry come from. And the text points out something fascinating. If you look at philosophical and spiritual traditions all over the globe, they all have a term for reaching this peak. They call it awakening, enlightenment, self-realization, or finding ultimate truth. It is the absolute highest rung on our ladder of tendencies.
But we have to pause here because people mix these two up all the time. It is absolutely crucial to draw a hard line between the mind and consciousness. The text explicitly contrasts them for us. The mind looks outward, right? It accumulates facts, searches for patterns in the external world, and tries to figure out how stuff works. Consciousness, on the other hand, looks entirely inward. It actually transcends our obsession with the changing world to seek pure awareness, truth, and wisdom. So to put it simply, knowledge expands your understanding, but awareness transcends it.
And finally, part 6, integrating the ascent.
This is really the climax of the whole source material. The main argument here is that true human flourishing doesn't mean you just abandon your lower biological drives once you get enlightened. No, it's about integration. Think of it like a stack of building blocks that support one another. A healthy body supports life. Life then provides the stable basis you need for learning. That knowledge is then enriched by love and the heart. And finally, that love matures and deepens through the pure awareness of consciousness. The whole thing forms one complete, unified hierarchy of human development. We journey from basic instinct to intelligence, from intelligence to compassion, and ultimately from compassion to wisdom.
So if we take a step back and look at the big picture, the entire human journey is this incredible, interconnected ascent. Survive, reproduce, understand, love, awakened. This whole progression doesn't deny where we came from. It fully embraces it. It honors the fact that evolution wired our bodies to survive and reproduce, but it also says, hey, we don't stop there. The mind has to seek understanding, the heart has to seek connection, and consciousness has to seek truth.
Which leaves us with this incredibly powerful quote straight from the text. In this integration lies the fullness of human existence. You can't be whole if you're only focused on survival and paying the bills. But at the same time, you can't be whole by meditating in a cave and pretending you don't need to eat. It's the whole shebang. It's the seamless weaving together of our most primal instincts with our absolute highest spiritual pursuits that actually creates a complete human life.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a question to bring this whole philosophy down to earth for your own life. When you look at this ascent, body, life, mind, heart, consciousness, which level of your human existence are you currently neglecting? And on the flip side, which one are you hyper-focusing on today? Are you stuck purely in survival mode? Or maybe you're gathering tons of knowledge but completely starving your need for real connection. Think about how you might integrate these levels to find your own fullness of existence. Thanks for joining me on this climb, and keep seeking that balance.